Jeffrey Epstein has one known living accomplice, convicted sex trafficker Ghislaine Maxwell. She has been at the center of the firestorm of scandal surrounding President Trump the last several weeks. She has suddenly been moved from the federal prison in Florida, where she was serving her 20-year sentence for her prominent role in the recruiting and trafficking of young girls to be sexually abused by Epstein and herself, to new, upgraded accommodations in a minimum security prison facility in Bryan, Texas. The move, which the administration so far expects you to believe is routine, comes after a week of pardon talk, after two extended day-long private meetings between Maxwell and the number two at DOJ, the Deputy Attorney General of the United States, who, oh, by the way, also happened to be Donald Trump's personal criminal defense attorney. We don't know what was discussed in those private meetings. We do know taking the meetings was highly abnormal. We do know that whenever Trump is asked about a potential pardon for Maxwell, he said over and over again that he's allowed to pardon whoever he wants. And we do know in the first 6 months of his administration, he has pardoned whoever he wants. And so now, in what is a shocking and frankly appalling scene reminiscent of Jeffrey Epstein's original sweetheart deal, the origin of this entire scandal, the one that allowed him to freely head home from prison for 6 hours at a time, 6 days a week, Maxwell's new prison is a minimum security federal prison camp. These facilities feature less prison staff, limited or no fencing, along with much more freedom of movement and recreational options than any other level of federal prison. Not only do these facilities usually house nonviolent and white-collar criminals, listen to this. NBC News is reporting that Maxwell was ineligible to be transferred to this kind of facility, to a minimum security prison camp, because she is a convicted sex offender. And that's according to the Bureau of Prisons' own designation policy. The BOP had to reach in and waive the rule specifically for Maxwell to allow a sex trafficker, a sexual abuser of girls, to be moved to her current facility. In fact, among Maxwell's new fellow detainees is Theranos founder Elizabeth Holmes, serving an 11-year sentence for wire fraud and conspiracy, and Real Housewives of Salt Lake City star Jen Shah, serving her own 6-year sentence for wire fraud. Shah runs a fitness class in the prison called Shahmazing Abs, just one of the many activities that Jeffrey Epstein's closest confidant and fellow abuser can now enjoy.